tea time for Mike and me. It's been a quite a week with a couple inflation numbers and the Fed. The market yesterday was celebrating the CPI, and Powell kind of pushed back on that and kind of dashed the acceleration to the upside in things like pound and cable and TLT, and even today in the S&Ps. So, a lot of us pay big attention to these numbers, especially if you're a currency trader.
Yeah.
But you know what's unusual? Mike doesn't care about the CPI or PPI or what Powell's going to say in a press conference. Can you imagine a life like that where big economic numbers don't matter because of what he looks at on a daily basis provides more than enough for him to make market decisions?
May I
That
step in with a beautiful segue?
I was just going to go to you, Mike. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It's not that I have the best system. I have my system, if you will, down. I know it better. Okay. Uh, you know, I, we're not splitting the atom here. Everything that I'm doing are predicated on stocks that are making new highs and stocks that are making new lows. I'm not swing trading. I'm not trying to pick the bottom or stocks that might be in the middle of something like AMD or something like that. Anything that I'm doing are new highs or tagging along with it. By the way, not the cheap ancillary ones. I see a couple popping here as my P&Ls rapidly dissipating. I digress. But you know what? The VIX is still abated. Like everybody saw in TGH, I was long 500,000 shares since Monday. If the VIX was 15, even 20, it'd be a millions, coach. Right now, I'm starting to play a little bit more defense that I like instead of offense as I show my screen. And it's not.
Okay. There's VIX. It's trying. My best guess is, Mike, that yeah, we get this pullback, but I'm looking for a completion or, another wave. This is probably it because I'm looking for one more jiggle. But we have option expiration next week, and a lot of times that gives institutions, because of the huge volume into expiration, a chance to, book square without moving the markets.
Speaking of
So
square, let's take a look at that chart. I just pulled it up. Sorry.
that's okay. So anyway, tune in. I'll get more specific with currencies and bonds and
Okay.
metals. I just want to tomorrow in my stream,
Okay.
but I just want to point out one thing. And I did a tweet, I don't know, about a week ago about GDX. Okay,
Thank
and I
God.
said, and the tagline was, "Let the markets come to you." Okay, so it looks like the GDX is going to come to me. It's pretty negative action. I'm thinking that we're going to try this area or this area in the next few weeks. So that's a pretty good correction. It's between 50% and 61.8 of this whole wave, especially because the dollar is a bit stubborn. I don't know if it's going to try the highs again or not. TLT, just a quick update.
Well,
So we had
just look
this,
at that close yesterday. These poor people that got shaken out. Every dip has been bought.
yeah, so it looks like an ascending triangle to me. Could it pull back? Yes. I don't think we should take out the 90 level, definitely the 89 level. And if we start closing above this resistance, it's 94, you could make a case for par up around
Yes.
100, which is the highs that we had last winter. So with that being said, Mike, since you don't really have to pay attention to the Fed and CPI and PPI. And I noticed you did say you're becoming defensive. Where's the greedometer nowadays?
Greedometer is it's neutral.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Okay, Coach. May I? As my
Yeah, you've got the screen.
let's go to my charts, as they say. I have a lot to say, and I'm sorry if I. My dad used to have a saying. It's an old one: trying to fit 5 pounds of bologna in a 6-pound bag. You know what I mean? Trying to get everything in. You heard of it?
I like thick sandwiches. Anyway, go go
I
ahead.
do too. I missed the one in Long Island. Michael Barter would know about that. Okay, let's go to some charts, Coach. Let me share. All right, so it's a Friday. A couple of things to
No, it's a Thursday.
a
Feels
Thursday,
like a Friday.
doesn't it? You know what, Coach? I don't even know what's. I don't even. I feel. You know what? This is my segue. Hold on. This is
Uh,
my segue. I'm serious. Is it? Let me at least put up a trade gate hub here. I feel this week has been. I'm an avid golfer, as everybody knows, or should know. If they don't step
oh,
up,
they're buying apple puts. That's interesting.
it's this, Coach. I feel like it's a 4-day golf tournament. Aside from that, I don't care what happens in life to a degree. All right. Monday, I felt like Friday going in, with app. No, his TGH. So I'll get into more specific. Let me get into the charts and give you my thinking, at least empirically, and then I'll think about uh, why I kept going. Basically, sentiment wise, a couple of things. The biggest moves come at the end. Another one is the market tries to fool as many people as possible at once. I got it. You got to keep these things in mind a little bit. We're not. Nobody's got the algo, so these are one of my plans. Going into specifics and basic, charts, if you will. Here's Apple. Naturally, we all know. Here's Oracle. Had a chance to move lower. Actually, did have a little blip, and I told everybody wait for the conference call. It was down 6 initially, then it reversed. Avago, the premier basic semi, if you will, Broadcom. There's earnings.
Broadcom. Yeah.
Okay. Other
Yep.
stocks going up. ARM. All right. So, okay, I understand that. But by the way, these moves 132 to 156, Coach. No, this is not just like, GLW, which, by the way, another one, Corning, still going parabolic. But all these other stocks, Coach, are stocks that, yes, you can play and you should play. Apple, it doesn't like I would say it doesn't matter. It's natural gas, widgets, whatever. As stocks are doing with 3 bars like this, going through a new high, you give the ultimate compliment. It doesn't matter what it does. So maybe you say that I might be egregious to some degree going into a CPI or a combo of a Fed speak uh, that I don't care.
I
I
don't think it's egregious. I think
oh,
it at all. And
I would
anyway,
okay. So Apple opens down 4. So my longs might open down. All right. So I buy a little bit more of my longs that are acting well a little bit after the open if they're green. Apple, I buy some on the open. Hopefully, I make $2 or whatever it may be, or whatever. Believe me, I'm fast enough with this type of movement, with the VIX being down here, that if I put a position on right away and it's a winner right away, with the VIX not having a lot of reversals, i.e., in a long term chart in Apple or an Intel, or a chart like what else is breaking down? A Square doing the complete opposite. When look at Square.
yeah.
Now, you could look at Apple, Microsoft, Google. There are other stocks, ancillary stocks that are acting well that are up there. HIMS. We've been Wolf. How many times have I bringing Hut Hike on this show? Wolf. If I type in anyone's more Wolf, it's going to be on my screen. My automatic dial thing when I punch up a W. You know what I mean? That's how much I've been pulling up Wolf. And I mean that.
Yeah.
Other stocks are acting well. Bio stocks, RNA. Some stocks are acting well with price, range, and volume. And when you could see stocks like Square acting like this, or a stock, a good biotech stock, RNA, there it is. Range, this is acting very well, broke out of it. It's a biotech stock. Some of these things have been working, but APA, there's a chart on Apache, Coach. It's over. All right, let's look at the chart on
I don't know.
today.
A lot of
Uh,
divergence there. Uh,
Coach,
I see that they're rotating yesterday the banks because I'm looking at XLF and I'd like to see it retest the high, and it's definitely lagging. I'd like to see one more high in the banks because you have two drives there. I'd like to see one more high. Also, Amazon has not made a new high yet with Nasdaq going parabolic. I was looking for one more high for 3 to
okay,
short. So
that's the plan.
maybe, yeah. So maybe remember I said, I hope that the S&Ps rally so I
Sure.
could short Amazon back over 190. Well, it almost got there. And then the last is the Dow really did not perform at all yesterday. I still was thinking that the Dow we could get back up towards 19.6, 19.7. That's Boeing, but that's probably why the Dow has been underperforming. Oh wow, there's the airlines.
Look at AAL,
So
coach. Look at
yeah,
American Airlines. It's
yeah.
incredible. Look, by the way, this is a meme stock. CCL is, this is what I don't know about. How are they blowing out AAL? When you have Carnival Cruise Line, the worst of breed, even a cruise line. How can, is it that different than people taking flights and then cruises? I mean, you could look at
There,
RCL. There's Royal
there's pe
Caribbean.
there's
And then
people
you could,
complaining about flying nowadays because they have less flights, so they're more crowded. They're completely packed, and people aren't enjoying air travel. You get on a cruise ship, it's not that way. So there's, a little bit of a swing. Plus, cruises are a little bit more, uh, uh, less money. They're
uh,
less money to take a cruise than to
a
fly.
bacteria trap. It's what it is.
Well, yeah, I know Legionnaire's disease and everything else, but you know what? That doesn't look that great either, Carnival, what you
That's
put up there.
that's
I'd
CF.
sell that rally.
That's CF.
Yeah, that doesn't look so great.
No, that's coach. How about Roku? I've been punching. I'm short Roku. How could I not show be Roku? A couple of things before we pull up the chart. Volume, obviously, the see the bifurcated market it is that's working. You could see mixes in individual sectors. Stocks that are making new highs. Here's Roku. Flip this chart over. It doesn't matter what they make, widgets, gas, boom. What's wrong with that? It's over. All you have to do is a stock making new lows within the past 1 week or even 6 months. Roku, you get triggered at 55, you're sitting at 53, 52. God forbid the NASDAQ pulls back. Well, there you go, right?
And I think the Nasdaq has a shot to pull back. I was talking about 1300 before the split in Nvidia, so 130 on a 10-to-1 split's the same price, and we got there today, I believe, in Nvidia.
Coach, you know what? I appreciate and I use a lot of your things for levels. But I think it's I'm not even looking at market levels and I can appreciate that. But here's my board.
Yeah,
Whoa, that's rare. Somebody obviously doesn't know what I do. Okay, let's look at my board here. All right, obviously Tesla. All right, here's my Tesla trade if I can go through it. May I?
yeah.
TSLL. I got eviscerated yesterday for selling it. What TSLL? Like 32,000 was it? Like what was it? 779. All right, so TSLL yesterday. Stock, by the way, I was in the hole. 695.
Yeah.
Today it's 870. So I did take a lot off yesterday, but I sold the majority of it today. I think I sold like 40,000 near the high. Hold on a second. Executions. There it is. So I sold this early 4:20 in the morning. I'm blowing out of Tesla as much as look 2000, 2000, 2000, 2000. And my price is 861 each. I took the profit. So did it go to 871? Yes. Now it's 851. Now I left a little bit on and I'm in the money, but it's yet to be determined where it closed. I might want some more. I know it's heavily shorted. The NVIDIA's hanging in there. SMCI. Look at coin looked well. Uber was the strongest stock on the board yesterday. But the bottom line is, look at the ranging. I also say Coach yells at me for 4 minutes. Bottom line is, this is June. This is 2 days. 67 to 73 to
10%.
7. That's like it's a 12-point move with volume, but up and down. Nobody's going to say you're going to capture the whole thing or go for SMCI like moves. That's what we do. GameStop over here. Avago's going to 2,000 a year. Don't say it. Uh, Wayfair, a stock that was so good. Now it's you want to talk about an Amazon. Now go Wayfair. This was
Yeah.
so heavily, under moving averages. Yes, if it goes up in the market squeeze, you might be down 50 cents, but piece when you're going against the trend, i.e. the market, piece into some things. I'm not saying a minute. You know what I mean? General Motors. Here's CELH, everyone's darling. It's steep, maybe a doji. Yes, by the way, these trades aren't for me anymore. Yes, I might buy 2,000, but 2,000, if I'm down $1 in it, might delete that I buy 4,000 down a half a point. Then it opens down the next day. I'm down all of a sudden 4,000 on $2. So what I mean, I'm aware of it. It might be something more of some more, a growth plays. CLH wants a dot. Now we know what he wants. Literally, it's amazing. It's amazing. Square, another one I brought up. What's wrong here? You know,
It's been going down for a few months, man.
Oh, well, now it's really in trouble. Now is the
Yeah.
NASDAQ. Now, if you're really starting to think that the biggest, I'm not saying they are, I'm not saying I'm playing it, but one of my thoughts is, and it's a high level thought, and I don't think I'm alone, is that if Apple and everybody runs out of the pool in NVIDIA, I don't see them going to Square on, I don't see the money that they took profits in Apple and NVIDIA or
Where
Microsoft.
will the okay, where do you think that money will rotate into? Because
Well,
they're not going to go to cash. No one does that. That's illegal. You can't go to cash anymore. In this market, you get thrown in debtor's
maybe
prison.
they started going in some of these other sectors that act they good earnings and are doing well. Maybe they buy a bull flag in CRWD. You know what I mean? Is it yet to be determined after the run that the move that General Motors made? I mean, come on. Would you blame them? So I want these things to settle out a little bit. Now this trading's okay. Am I going to take a stand and say, well, General Motors blew off the top? I'm not sure. It definitely had news. They had a gazillion share buyback, 6 billion to be specific. Is the juice out of the punch bowl? I'm not sure. But much like a Roku, much like an Apple, much like a Square, all these, I'm looking for other hints. So when, A&F is down $4.
How's this for a hint, Mike? That the buyback period ends tomorrow. And that's been part of the support of things like
Yes,
Apple
yes,
and
it
many
has.
markets, right? So that prop and that flow of money stops next week. So it's going to have to do it on its own with
And if,
natural buyers.
and if you don't know it now and you didn't consider that going in, then not to be dramatic, but you're underprepared and going to a gunfight with a knife. No disrespect, but if you don't know that something major like that is happening, we're also creeping up to the end of the quarter. I'm not going to jump ahead of myself, but it's yet to be determined if these funds still are under. Listen, it's a combination of FOMO and short squeezing. A lot of the short squeezes will look at the hedge funds. There's still, short individual stocks, but as you can see in some moves here, they're covering dramatically. But as I've said before, not to be redundant, there's outs. If I feel like I'm down in a stock, I feel like I can take a little bit of a loss and go into something else. You know what I mean? Which, by the way, is the VIX is so low. So it gets to be that type of thing to me. I said it started off the Segways thing. I feel like it's a 4-day golf tournament. Maybe last Friday, with the S&P was the round one, the Monday open and seeing stocks like Apple break high Monday and Tuesday. You know what I mean? This was
Yeah.
round two. Round three was CPI and the Fed. I made the cut. I'm on the leaderboard, but it's not.
Mike, hold that Apple chart there. All right. So
I was
people
ready to get
know.
to round four. You didn't even let
All
me
right.
get.
You were talking about they were buying calls when we were trading at 168, 170. And that's what got me out of it. And then we had one more of my puts, thankfully. And then there was one more low. And I went, damn that Mike and his option sweeps. It's going to collapse. And then 2 days later, it negated the breakdown. And the only mistake I made was not just covering puts, but why I didn't buy calls with the wise guys down there. What a trade.
Coach, like I said, I don't want, we're getting some things here. From Astro. Thank you, Astro. Francis, do you trade SPX for NQQ? No, coach does. Very rarely trade indexes. I have a reason why. I'm in the minority. I just have my own plan and my own system. I'll leave that to the experts, and I know why. It's all good. Next, Astro Gumbo. All good, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's why, Mike, that's what I'm saying, Astro, is that things that you and I put into our narrative and that affects our narrative, Mike doesn't have to deal with that. So, I mean, if that is stressing you out, you could always change your style in this business. You have to learn, Schwager said, find a trading style that suits your personality. So, my personality has always been, longer term forecasts, swing forecasts. So I have to take that into consideration when Powell's going to do a press conference. Mike's style is immediacy. What's happening now? What's happening now? Not what's happening in the future. And, for some people, that may be a better way to go. It's not as much pressure. You're usually right or wrong the same day on a lot of this stuff instead of having to nurse drawdowns. I know Mike has those too because he position trades, but for the most of, I would call you a reactive trader.
I have to be. I'm not that smart to be a pro.
Yeah,
I'm not.
but you know it.
Volume tells the story.
Yeah,
Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd.
yep.
I have faith in myself there after 30 years, and I'm not the last one in the pool. Net,
That
there's a little bit of my edge.
that's as old as the Bible. Volume precedes price, quote unquote. So, you know, that goes back to Edwards McGee in the 50s and 60s, which to me is biblical times because I was just a baby. So, anyway, uranium, CCJ, how's it holding up? Or did it advance to new highs? Are you even looking at?
Let me finish a couple of things here. I'm not. I got that by the way because I want to know. I haven't looked, and I'll
Okay.
probably have a good opinion when I look, just like an X-ray. But I'm sure you'll break it down like a surgeon. Bottom line is, as we go to, I'm serious. Let's go to new share. Let's look at a couple of things that I left here. I'm not in it. Okay. This is some stocks on my radar for tomorrow. 16
I
hours.
saw that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number one is DRCT. Let's.
Because of earnings, why are they on
I
your?
don't. I have no idea.
Okay.
Just like you said, I don't care. I ask later on certain things. If it has biotech, cancer, or heavily short, I ask later.
Okay.
That's what we
So
do.
what
Hold on.
attracted you to these names? It had to be something.
Top gainers on today. DRCT. It's up 18%, has 2 million. Okay. Let me give you one more, please. Just hold on. New share. Let's go to RNA. Look at RNA. First two. RNA, I think, is up. I brought it up before. Trust me, it's up nicely. But look at the short. CELH and Roku. CLH is, we brought those two up. Roku, it's right up. CF. Okay, let's look at CLH, Roku, and CF. Five
So and ADM. So
that are all pure plays. I'm not telling you to go into
they're shorting agriculture here.
CLH, Roku, and CF. Hold on.
Okay, interesting.
All right, so their ideas across the board. It doesn't mean they're going to work. Hold on. Do share. Where's Mike V? Right here. CLH. There it was even lower. Now norm. Okay. CLH down 59 cents. It was down more. CF.
Double
What's
top.
wrong here? What's the big deal here? Go right through. Yesterday, it's breaking through as a market's ripping. And by the way, I wasn't happy with these two flags here. What's wrong there? You guys should have a query. Breaking down. All
We'll
right.
go back to the April low, Mike.
All right. What's the other one that I gave?
ADM.
Roku. No, Roku. What's wrong? Roku. I brought up. You're not saying, nobody's got to say you have your hair on fire and being long too many Apple calls and be hedged in long Roku puts. It's not saying it's not that easy. Not even in a lot of it. But, small trades lead to something. God forbid if you think the NASDAQ topped a little bit. Certainly no one's going to run the Roku and say, since Apple and Apple pulled back and Microsoft had these great runs, I think Roku's on sale. Not going to happen. It's going to have a binary move for that thing to go forward. Same with something like Square. So with that being said, is maybe you want to short these on rallies if you feel the NASDAQ top. I don't know if it has. Certainly there's a lot of euphoria and FOMO to say it is. I'm not playing it that way. As I said before, I don't really play the spies and the Qs. I like to trade a lot against those respective sectors, respective groups. Until now, it's Thursday afternoon. Fridays, the big
Tomorrow's Saturday, man.
no, it's not. I get it. I don't even care what day it is. All I know is Friday afternoons suck. That's all I know. So until then, I feel it's like the fourth day of a golf tournament right now, and then on Monday or Tuesday, I'll pull my chips together, whatever it may be, and then I'll watch it. Then we know what I'll do is I'll go through my Twitter feed, and this is what I do. I mean, I'm here not to placate a lie. Part of my thing is going through our YouTube channel. Not only do I go through our YouTube channel, I want to see how good I do. I look at myself, not because I'm vain, because I want to finish complete sentences. I also want to get better as a trader. And I also want to look at things. Listen, I'm privileged. When I used to trade 20 years ago, I asked my manager if I could set up a tripod with with a camera over my shoulder, taping like the first first hour so I can replay what happened on the screen. Literally. I was going to trade with a tripod. I have, right or wrong, they're high opinions. my own videos to go through, A, to learn, to B, to get better. C is to listen to coaches' videos and build a plan and know even what the hell happened the past 4 days. Obviously, I do. I'm being dramatic, but you know what I mean. I'm thinking Christ now and action later.
Okay, so any option sweeps of note, Mike?
Touche. No,
I saw some Apple puts being bought.
they're hedging.
Anything else? Nvidia?
They're hedging,
Uh,
coach.
it's
They're
just
hedging.
ahead. Okay.
No, anything is hedged. Not, I
Uh,
actually put a little SMH hedge, Nvidia, that's a hedge. It all is. I looked.
how do you know it's a hedge?
Uh, because
Spy bearish action.
sometimes they go the bid if they the bid of the offer. If they hit the bid on selling puts, that tell you it's the trade. The
Okay.
fair question.
So they're not buying puts, they're selling calls?
SMPH, there's the thing. They're buying more at the ask.
Okay. So they're paying up to own them.
I'll have to look into that.
Okay. All right. So you're saying all the bearish put buys in the sweeps are just
SMCI
hedging.
is the one.
I did notice they're pretty short term. They're Junes, most of what I saw.
But you know what? The one that's working, and the great eye, coach. And I think I should have articulated that. I got distracted, but let's look at this. This is 11:30 on the Jesus feed. I call it what it is. Arguably the best out there. I get it, but it is what it is.
Okay. Well,
SMCI bullish. SMCI bullish. SMCI page of SMCI at 10:40 a.m. Excuse me.
okay.
10:40 a.m. is right here. Back. Here's 10:41. 8:18 to 8:48. Give you $30. SMCI going higher.
Mike, a buddy of mine
I
who,
didn't make it up.
I know, and it exemplifies the point I've been making all day about your style. And a friend of mine followed me for years on Twitter and stuff. I've met him a couple times for lunch, and he's asked me to teach him how to trade. And I said, my style, it would take years, really, to be able to view the market the way I do. And I suggested that he come into TradeGATEHub and follow your option sweeps. And when you see him and Mike likes them, just to look at your charts and then buy some stock based upon that or the options that are being bought, because that is much simpler than my kind of discretionary views, a lot of technical analysis, but it's more discretionary and more subjective. Okay. What you do is not as subjective, right?
Coach,
You're
you know what? I thank God it's that way. I don't go nuts.
that's what I'm saying. You know, you can't teach an old dog new tricks,
I
and
mean, I love it.
I'm not gonna convert to that kind of trading because people want my analysis. But I'm considering just going with your option sweeps and your ideas. I'm not in the room enough to see them, but
Coach,
it's
coach.
it's easier structure for people to learn
I don't,
than
you know,
correlations
I,
and all that other stuff.
I wanted to be I used to be a 5 tool trader. I'm trying to be a 4 or a 3. I don't want to be a general practitioner anymore until you
Yeah,
have a cold. You're a brain
yeah,
surgeon. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Few and far between. And thank God, and it took, it takes a while. Everybody takes a while for their own system. But the bottom line is if you have no ego, which you shouldn't. And coach, can I say something not to be facetious? You want to try the option sweeps? Okay, I got you. Get a demo account. I'm fucking serious. Excuse my, you know what I mean? Get a
Yeah.
demo. Start with them. Start with the sweeps. See what happens. It's trend, option sweeps, and volume. It's a lot simpler. Net over time, volume and the proper trend with sweeps. Even if you're wrong, they give you outs. It's not as bad. It took me
Right.
a decade or two to learn that. I started out as one of the best day traders. I have no problem saying in the country. I swear to freaking God. I have no problem saying that. I made hard money. I didn't say that. I'm not living on an island anywhere. You got to morph into a better trader. This is what works. It's
That's what most people make is the tough money. and then they're not there for windfalls because they're worn out from the mental process. So, I can say that because I know it, okay, that there's times before the move I'm looking for will wear me out and I'll turn my head and then it happens. So, anyway, I wanted to feature your style today to give people some food for thought because most people try and do what I do, and it's going to take you many years to get good at that. You can't
Coach,
learn
no,
experience.
you
But
gotta,
with Mike's structure, I think you could pick it up quicker, probably from, after a few weeks.
Coach, it took me a decade. Thank
It
God I
took,
had, thank God I had some structure, some innate ability, and I was highly
yeah,
trained
yeah,
to unwind a day trading mentality, a decade to go
yeah,
from making quarters and fills to fight to finally getting hurt and knowing I am not with the algos, or to a degree, I'm against them with trading in that capacity.
yeah. So there you go. You can change. And I'm going to wrap it with a W.D. Gans saying. There you go. You can change. And all right, I'm hearing myself. Anyway, if you don't learn how to change your mind, you
Yeah,
won't
that's
have
good.
any change left.
Sorry, I was trying to finish with some sort of to combat some sort of sarcastic Astro Gumbo, either comment or, but I'll let it go. I hope
Okay.
he's eating gumbo with some good freaking seafood with the calls we
I,
do.
I love seafood gumbo.
Oh, you kidding? It's one of my go-tos.
All right, Mike. I really have learned a lot from you over how long we've been working together now? About 3 years?
Yes, and it just like TradeGATEHub, it's quality over quantity. When you have two guys that are passionate and do things at a high level for a long time, it doesn't take long a lot when you put your ego at the side to learn things and absorb them very quickly because they're, you get excited. It's not just learning in basketball camp to dribble. I'm learning a little bit more, it gets a little bit more of them. We're learning how to we turn into scorers. You know what I mean? We're
Yeah,
shooters.
yeah. So it's over for the Mavericks. But
Yeah, I know, Gal.
anyway,
I don't like
and,
Carl. I don't like Kyle anyway. I don't like Kyrie Irving either.
yeah. So anyway,
Anyway,
yeah,
this is how good that the accounts are. I even asked Coach to get a demo. Get a
yeah.
demo
Okay.
or a live account, whatever it is.
All right, live account. And yeah, I forgot what I was going to say now, but
That was me after half an hour this morning. I used to sit there. I used to not get out of the chair for 14 hours straight. After 28 minutes, that was me today.
turn the machines back on.
Yeah, that's okay. That Tim always remembered that when I was sitting next to him, we
Uh,
traded. When
yeah,
it came to Friday at 4 o'clock, that was the worst part of the day. I said, "This sucks."
I'm
So
going to lose my.
the passion at least resonated then.
Hey, and you know what? Orange juice has been on a tear. There's a
Orange juice.
shortage.
Oh,
Orange
okay.
juice has been
All
on
right.
a huge tear, so that's, the main theme of trading places, the market anyway. What I was going to say is if you didn't see Luke Groman yesterday, take some time over the weekend just for your longer term view of what's happening because we get caught up in the minutia. That's what we have to do to grind it out and make money. But for a long-term view on what's going to happen with debt here in the country and how we get out of it, and whether either political party has the political will to do anything about it, we'll see. Check out Luke Groman. Mike, have
Coach,
a I,
I know we're growing right here by the retailing sector. You have more than obviously have more than one Trade Gate Hub t-shirt in the rotation. I hope.
oh yeah, I do.
All right, so we're getting bigger when we have multiple Trade Gate swag. When we joked yesterday when we first started that I only had one shirt of each and I had to rotate.
Okay.
I want
Yeah.
The trade view markets rug though.
All right.
Anyway,
All right, buddy. So I hope this helped you guys. Um, see you in the room.
cheers, everyone. Take questions after Astro Gumbo. All the guys get in the room. You know what I mean? Real time. Cheers.
All right.
We'll see you then.
Okay, Mike. Good
Okay,
hunting,
cheers.
buddy.
You too, guys. Thanks, Alexis, the team behind us too. Way to be alert all the time.
Thank you, team.